Victoria is facing an economic day of reckoning, according to economists, because new data shows businesses in the state are closing their doors in record numbers and unemployment is continuing to rise. This is from the Sunday Herald Sun today. New data released this week showed a 48% annual increase in the number of businesses that either collapsed or had a financial controller appointed over the last financial year. A 48% increase. And of course, the spokesman for Jacinta Allen's Labor government said it was all a load of codswallop because more Victorians were working than when she took office. Well, yes, there are more Victorians than when she took office. Therefore, there are more Victorians in jobs because the Prime Minister keeps importing people. You can't point at numbers like that and expect us to take it seriously. But of course, independent economist Saul Eastlake warned, I'm sure, this is his quote, I'm sure there'll be a day of reckoning for the Victorian economy as a result of the mismanagement of state finances by the current government, just as there was in the early 1990s, but it hasn't happened yet. Who would have thought that such a thing would need to happen in Victoria, Jamie? I mean, you know, this place is an absolute basket case. They're turning, but we used to refer to South Australia as a mendicant state because we had to give them all this GST money. That's what's happening with Victoria, allegedly one of the powerhouses of this country now. They are in serious trouble. 48% increase in businesses going bust. That's a big problem.
It's really sad. So more than 4,000 businesses have gone under. Unemployment rate has increased as well. What's concerning is the amount of debt that this state is accumulating. It's forecast to hit $194 billion by 2028. They're paying daily interest rates of $21 million is their daily interest bill. And what's really concerning is comparable to other jurisdictions around the world, Victoria has one of the worst debt burdens. And you can just see this debt is what's weighing heavily on businesses. And so you need to be fixing this level of debt to be able to get that encouragement back so that businesses invest in that state. But there's no clear vision or path on how to move forward for here. And you look at all of the energy prices and wages and insurances and everything is just going up and up and up, and businesses just can't keep their doors open. And it's no surprises when you see how much debt this state is accumulating.
The only problem, Joe, is when you've got an opposition like the one you have down in Victoria. And look, I think Brad Batten's a good guy and a decent leader, but the party itself is still in so much turmoil because of all that pseudo stuff that they went through, that the chances are that you'll have the same again for another 4 years next November when we have an election.
There is every chance. The public polling shows that, and my understanding is the private Labor polling shows that as well, which is disappointing even for Labor supporters or sensible Labor supporters, because the best outcome would be for Jacinta Allen to go, for Ben Carroll, her deputy, to replace her. He is from the right. The left still runs the numbers in. So again, we've had a complete reversal from the right technically running the state of Victoria and Dan Andrews serving at their pleasure. And then, of course, there was all the branch stacking scandals, and they got cleaned out. It got taken over by the executive, the national executive, which is basically kind of split halfway, but sort of run by the left. And then you also had Dan Andrews very cannily being able to seduce ministers and MPs from the right faction to the left faction. So the caucus is now dominantly left as well. And that includes, to his eternal shame, Treasurer Tim Pallas, the former Treasurer Tim Pallas, who was the leading figure of the right and basically just sold out. And this is what happens when you give up on trying to be fiscally responsible, try to give up on sort of sound, responsible economic management, and you just think you can sort of tax and spend your way out of an economic and fiscal crisis. You get stuff like this, and it's absolutely bonkers. And Victoria's broken. If you look at what's happening with real estate values there, going through the floor because of all the land tax, it's just an absolute broken state. I'm actually going there on the weekend, so
and you're
sure to say hello to everybody.
You are from there, and there's a good reason you're from there.
Yeah. I've gone totally native. I'm like a quit smoker who tells everyone else that they should quit too.
Don't do it. Don't touch it. And it's funny you mentioned the property prices, because Adelaide is now set to overtake Melbourne in terms of median house prices.
Yep.
I mean, what does that tell you about the confidence that exists in Victoria and Melbourne at the moment? It is not good.